this episode, we break in our bench and sit down to provide you a listing of do's and don'ts for any couple who is thinking on working on a project like this together. If you have any suggestions you would like to share or add, please be sure to leave them in the comments section below this video. And as always, we invite you to follow along in our attempt to create Donley Cove.
So we're kind of in a stalemate today. It rained last night, so a lot of puddles.
Yep.
And we're waiting on an Amazon order.
Yep.
So I thought we would make a video here on our new bench location. Woohoo! Some of the do's and don'ts of a husband and wife working together on a project like this.
Interesting.
What do you think?
I'm interested to find what your do's and don'ts are.
Okay, so
right.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my number one do, guys. Listen. Always listen to your wife. You might think, nah, that's not gonna work. Nah, that's not a good idea. I'm gonna do it my way. You could go ahead and do that. Bottom line is, she's right. You get down to the end of it, her initial idea, once you do it, it works. So that's just a suggestion.
Okay.
Okay, do you
Yeah.
have any?
No, go ahead.
No? Okay. Don't assume in the beginning, if you have a big project like this. Now, if you found us on this video, go back and watch the beginning. We'll have links to the beginning of this project. And we thought, oh, we could do all this by hand, right? When that was originally laying there,
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago, maybe it was longer.
It was like 7. But
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm just gonna get out there and I'll just cut up them logs and get everything moved and cleaned up. Don't make that assumption.
Unless you're like super Hulk and in your 20s and...
Even at that, I think it would take a long time to do all this by hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't make that assumption that you could just accomplish a task like this, just doing everything by hand without... Even simple machines help. So don't do that.
I have a don't.
Okay.
Don't think that it's going to be as simple as you thought, because literally we figured by now we would have the grass area here cut, those trees and logs would have been moved, the driveway would have been in, and the RV would have been here. We'd have been celebrating in the RV, hanging out in there.
Yeah, I thought at least we'd have at least 2-3 weeks in the RV out here for summer. We could take a summer trip, come back, use the RV a few times, and camp out here.
Yeah, I don't see that
Obviously,
happening.
well, you know, we always consider like summer. You and I always consider summer when we got to go back to work.
Yeah.
But no, we still got time. Okay. I know we're rushing, try to hurry up and get stuff done because now we can spend our days out here because we're not at work. But yeah, but you're right. Don't make the assumption that it's going to be quick, because the more we do, the more we go, oh, it'd be kind of nice if we took that tree down, or oh, it'd be kind of nice if we trimmed up over there, or oh, it'd be nice if we did this,
or
we did that.
It rained, and so the driveway is water for 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it rains again, and then we start that process again.
So here's a maybe, do or don't, I don't know. We didn't approach this with a plan, and most times, well, almost everything that I do in life, I have a plan. Okay.
A huge plan.
A huge plan. I have everything outlined. I have everything that I need in a list. You know, I go over it in my head a few times. If it's something major, I'll even go through and do a walkthrough of it and try to check. And even at work, by nature, my job, I have to do that. I have to have everything in place, everything planned out, everything done. This, I wanted to kind of approach it with, we had goals. Get this cleaned up, check. Get the driveway in,
not check.
Get the RV over here. The RV getting over here will be okay once we get the drive-in or driveway in. That's the only plan we had. We haven't planned out where we're putting everything, how we're going to lay out the property and all that, because I really didn't want to. This is supposed to be a fun project. It's not supposed to be work. It is work. It's a lot sweat equity, sweat work. But I'm glad I did it because I'm feeling so much better. So I don't know. That's kind of a maybe. That's up to you. Maybe you want to plan out what you're going to do each day and accomplish those tasks and stuff. I really didn't want to do it. I just wanted to have goals for the summer. Are we going to achieve those goals before I go back to work? Probably not. But we may achieve them before winter, which I think will happen. We'll get them done before winter. So
that's hopeful thinking. Because once we go back to work, we are like hitting the pavement running, and we don't ever stop until next summer. So you may believe that. I'm a little more skeptical.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see who's right this time.
Yeah, always listen to your wife. But I would like to get the RV out of paying the storage since we have this all done. I'd
like to get the driveway done.
I think it's going to go quick once we get so trucks can get back here. I think it'll go quicker. So here's another do. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of trying something new. I've used chainsaws before, not real heavy, like I'm not a lumberjack. I'm a computer guy. I spent 90% of my life sitting at a desk, and then I go home and spend on a computer. That's what I do. I'm not out in the woods or out on property cutting stuff up all the time. I've used a chainsaw before, but don't be afraid. Just follow the safety instructions. I wasn't wearing the safety gear and all that stuff. I mean, don't do that. I mean, wear the safety stuff. I did have eye protection on. You saw me wearing, they look like sunglasses. Those were actually eye protection. And I had gloves on and stuff because my hands, believe it or not, are really soft. That's why you see me wearing gloves all the time, because I'm a computer guy. And these fingers is what pays the bills. So, yeah, but don't be afraid. Just try it. Now, here's another do too. If you were doing like I was, I don't know how many videos ago, maybe two, 3 videos ago, or maybe it hasn't come out yet. I don't know. But we cut up those logs on the path. It's in the episode 20, actually, where we were making the path, and I cut those logs up. Take your time and look at it. Look at where it's math. Look at where that log's going to drop when you cut it. Look at, if it's going to roll. Use the wedges, that kind of thing. Take your time. Don't go and just, I got a chainsaw and start ripping through it. And you see other people on YouTube with chainsaws and axes and stuff, and they're just ripping through it. No, don't do that. No, because we did try that before, and I mentioned that in the video up there, and it didn't work out for us. It didn't work out good for the chainsaw. Actually, we still have that chainsaw. It just needs a new bar and a blade. Someday we'll get that fixed, so we'll have another chainsaw. But yeah. A do is don't be afraid. Here's another tip. So we're talking about husband and wife working on a project, okay? Guys, don't get mad at your wife. I mean, this is supposed to be a fun project. I've caught myself a couple times flaring up, being mad because we weren't over here in the morning when I wanted to be here in the morning and all that. And then I just kind of thought, you know what? So what? I just told myself, don't be a jerk. Because we're spending time together. You being angry, like I couldn't do something or anything. No, and encourage them. I mean, I am so proud of you. You got behind. Now listen, let me tell you something about my wife, okay? She is a city girl. Oh yeah. Have you been on a tractor before this year? No. Never been on a tractor before, ever. I tried to go on a tractor before,
but I didn't weigh enough at the time, and so if I was on it, it wouldn't start.
Yeah, you tried the John Deere too. It wouldn't start. The zero turn, you didn't weigh enough to keep it running.
Yeah.
Not saying anything now, but you were able to.
I did gain a little.
Yeah, but I do know when you drive across the bumps, it does cut the engine out every once in a while. But you sit back down again and it goes in. But I encourage her. Hey, you want to drive? Once you drive, once you take it, you know, and that's doing. Now the walk behind. Oh, she's a pro.
I love that.
She's a pro. She loves it. And the little
the mini chainsaw.
The little mini chainsaw.
Thing. Yeah.
Great. I mean, and that's a great. We work together great as a team because you're picking up the slack where I just got to stand there, catch my breath. You keep on going, and then I keep going. You stand there, catch your breath, and then we get things accomplished. So, guys, don't get upset with your wife, and encourage her. Encourage her to do her thing.
And ladies, you can continue to encourage your guy too. You know, I give him his little man card punches.
That's right. That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Here's my do. First aid kit. I don't know why this one is green. First aid is always red, but this one came in a green pouch. But anyway, first aid kit is a must whenever you're doing any big project like this. You cut yourself a couple of times. I was able to use the alcohol pad from in the kit.
We just
to
grabbed
clean
the first aid kit.
Lens.
She's got alcohol pads in there, and that cleaned the booger off the lens.
Yeah. So definitely have first aid at your.
That goes without saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't something I had. I don't know, about 4 or 5 different cuts. It wasn't something where I had to go to the hospital or anything.
No,
they were just little
scratches.
nicks, and it just stops the bleeding and keeps the bugs out of the blood and that kind of thing, and keeps you going.
You guys may have seen me, like, I wear this black pouch a lot on my back, or I have it hanging on whatever we're working on, because that's where the first aid kit is, that's where my phone is, that's where extra batteries for the camera are, so it kind of keeps things
She's like
contained.
she's a little pack mule.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have a little bit too much in there, because yesterday we noticed the little bruise you had on your shoulder.
On the one side, not the other side, just this side. So it must have been off center yesterday. Like part of it must have been heavier on one side, and it was pooling. By the end of the day, it had a red line there.
So dude,
it's gone already.
First aid kit, even a small one. That's a little cheap one that you picked up somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You threw some extra Band-Aids in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's also too. Check it every once in a while, see if it needs refilled.
That is always a plus.
That's helpful.
That's even at school, I tell my kids that. Like, I don't care if they need a Band-Aid, but ask me so that I can get it for them.
Yeah.
Because then I know how many I've used and whether I need to replace them, if I have to go buy some more or not. Because I don't want to not have them if you need them.
Yeah. So we really don't have a script here. We just we're just like came out to our bench and said, I said, hey, let's just make a video. And I think this would be helpful, like do's and don'ts. And I'm gearing it towards like a project of this size, a husband and wife working together. Are we experts when it comes to marriage? You know what? I'm going to say yes, because we've been married how long? We just celebrated 17 years of marriage. And I really cannot remember maybe 2
That's what I was going to say too.
major blowouts that we had. And
they lasted like 15 minutes.
Yeah. So maybe some of this stuff will I guess expert would it? No, that's a professional if you get paid for it. We're not paid marriage counselors, but we do have 17 years of experience with 2 major blowouts. Now, do we get on each other's nerve every once in a while? Well, of course you do. That happens. That happens with friends. Happens in any relationship. But you just learn to go with the flow. We've been out here over a month, and I enjoy every time we come out here. I mean, you hate doing the work. I get that. I understand.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it.
And you hate just like not doing anything. I get that. But now we have a spot where we can just sit here and talk to those guys.
I hate it when things don't go quickly. I want to see progress.
Yeah.
I want to meet those deadlines and those goals. And when it doesn't happen, that annoys me.
Yeah. Wow. So there's a do is don't expect instant gratification if you're working on a project of this size. There's some things that we want to do out here. It's probably going to take years, just for number one, the time it takes to do it, and number two, the financial. I mean, you could keep throwing money at it and throwing money at it, throwing money at it and get it done quick, but who's got that kind of money?
So do expect it to cost more than you think it will.
Absolutely, there's a do. We don't have a budget. There's no planning, there's no budget. There's just the goals for this year, and that's the, you know, we keep saying we've got to get the driveway in and get the RV over here. We get the RV over here, we're going to start saving our monthly rental fee, which is literally right down the street. We won't have to pay that.
Yeah.
And we're already paying the taxes. We own the property. So we're already paying the taxes on it. Why not get it over here?
For many years now.
Yeah. But in order to keep this grass cut, we needed the tractor running and a tractor. So there was this expense. We thought that the tractor, we just pull it out and get ready to go, and it needed some work. It's going, it's not here now, but it's a zero turn. And guess what? Mary Ann can't drive it.
True.
She can drive the Husqvarna. We need a different name for that. It's orange. We got to think up a different name. But she can drive that. See what I'm thinking here, folks? See what I'm getting at?
I guess do make sure that you feed each other. Food is important.
Food is important. I don't know if you guys are like me, where you get working on something and like you forget about eating. I'm not a small guy. You guys see me in the videos. I won't show you now. I like my groceries. But if I get into working on something, I won't think about food, and that's a bad thing, because my blood sugar drops and I'm like, oh, I gotta eat like now or I'm gonna pass out. So the last, I don't know, 2-3 times we've been out here, Mary Ann's packed us a lunch. And when we go to work, you pack us a lunch too, and we have little frozen things that go in and keep it cold. And we took a break for lunch and went back to work. Or we literally, oh, there's a couple other suggestions too, but we literally live 5-6 minutes from here, so if we have to, we could run home and get something to eat and come back. We did one day go to a fast food restaurant. I'm not going to mention it and the name of it, but that was bad.
Things
I
don't
got
go
really
well
sick
with him and fast food.
I don't do good with fast food anymore. No. Those of you who do know me personally, you know I have some health issues. And I am very huge fan of that project or product, AG1, because without me taking that, I've been on it, is this the 3rd month, 2nd month?
I think you're starting your 3rd month.
Starting my 3rd month, and I've taken it faithfully every day, every morning when I get up. And you've seen me in the videos. I was cutting up a log yesterday, and I was out here, that was a couple, I mean, the video is not that long, but we were out here for a couple hours. And when we first started to tackle this project, I tore into it like I'm gonna get this taken care of. And I was 15 minutes. I was shaking, blood sugar was dropping. I couldn't do it. So there's something in there, one of those 75 different ingredients that my body needs. And it's helped with the pain. I got a couple things that's issues that I'm dealing with. It helps with the pain. I got circulation back in my left side. I got strength back, and that helps me keep going, gives me the energy to keep moving. I feel like I'm dropping some weight. She's saying no, I still look like a fat guy.
I did not say that.
Oh, yeah, honey, am I losing any weight? No.
But I didn't say you still look like a fat guy. Oh my gosh.
That's how I heard it.
Oh, okay.
But so I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, I can attest to that whatever is in there is working for you too, because I feel like you
I don't know how that relates to this video.
Better than me.
I don't know how that relates to the do's and don'ts.
Does.
I don't know what the point I was trying to make, but
But you
So I guess that relates back to the
outpacing
first
me.
one where I said, listen to your wife. Because when I started taking that, it was like 2 weeks. She started seeing a difference in me. And then she started saying, did you take your go-go juice? That's what we call it, the go-go
Yeah.
juice. Did you take your go-go juice? Did you take your go-go juice? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. She's on me. She asks me every day, did I take it? Did I take it? Did I take it? So listen to your wife. I go back to that one. I'm going to circle back around. Listen to her. It helps. And I've been to doctors, you know, not last summer, summer before last. I went through tests and they scanned my legs and
I think it was last summer.
no, I think it was summer before last, but I don't know. Maybe it was last summer.
Listen to your wife.
Yeah, listen to my wife. Whatever it was. But I went and had tests done. Oh yeah, the doctors keep telling me there's nothing wrong with me. But when you can't, like I'm holding this camera right now with my left hand. I couldn't do that 2 months ago.
Right.
I couldn't do it. I didn't have the strength in my hand. My whole left side, just no strength. And yeah, listen to your wife. And try to take care of yourself. Now, in my defense, I've been to doctors, but they couldn't figure out, oh, there's nothing physically wrong with you.
Yeah.
It's all in your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, here's another one. Don't jump on the first thing that you see. When you have something like this that needs to get done, work together with your spouse, do your research. I don't know how many videos we've watched, how many web pages we went to, how many people we went and talked to, how many phone calls I made. I mean, it took us 2 months. It took us about 2 months to find somebody to do the bush hog. Don't jump to it right away. Like you have the instant gratification problem, okay? I'm trying to do it cost effective because later down the road is where I want to drop some coin, okay? So I'm trying to do it cost effective. We want to put in, you know, pumpkin patches. We want to get rid of the RV and put in like a cabin type thing. I want a garage out front. I want to
replace the cabin that's here or fix it up.
Right.
Yeah,
so
you do have plans in your head.
But what I'm saying is, if I would have jumped right away and said, okay, we need to blow this money to get to the point where we're at now, we didn't. It didn't cost us a lot to get this cut down. It really didn't. For the amount of work that JC put in, he was out here for at least 4 days.
It was 4 days, yeah.
It was 4 days with a bulldozer and a backhoe.
And 2 full days. Yeah.
And no, not a backhoe, bush hog. Bush hog and bulldozer for 4 days. And we thought we were going to do this by hand. Well, at least I thought I was. Yeah, it took us 7 years to get out here to get this cleaned up.
Because every time we looked at it, we're like, I don't think we have the energy to do this right now.
Well, energy, time, money, all that stuff had to fall into place. And I said, this is the year. Let's just do it. Get it done. I'm glad we did, because now we're sitting out here and we're able to make this video. On our haunted travels, when it's nice out, like it is today. Today it's gorgeous out. It's a little windy. Hopefully you can hear our audio, but it's just gorgeous out. We would go down to record our intros and outros and stuff down by the park, and I'm like, we got land over there. We could just go over there, but we couldn't get back to where we're at right now. You couldn't walk back here. And so take your time. Do take your time. I'm not saying plan everything out, but call around, check around. And originally we would try to get JC years ago to do this, and we just took a different route, and it happened. So I think that's a do, right? Take your time, check around, don't jump into it right away. Have a goal. Yeah. So here's another one too. I mean, as far as husband and wife, admit you're a team out here working on this. If one of you gets like, I've had enough, I can't take anymore, call it. It says we're done for today, because it's not worth pushing yourself to get everything done. I know, again, getting back to your instant gratification, I know people just want the job done so they don't have to do it. Something like this is never going to be done. Trees are always going to grow. Branches are always going to drop. Wood's always going to need moved. Grass is always going to need cut. It's nature, okay? It's not worth stressing out your relationship and making it not fun to push the other person,
or pushing yourself
or
so
push
much
yourself.
that you get hurt.
Yeah, because quite frankly, we have fun when we go home. We get, you know, cleaned up, have dinner, and we sit there and we start thinking and we start watching some other videos and having some other days. Oh, look what that guy just did with that thing. That's how I found the glider. That's exactly how I found the glider, because we were thinking, how are we going to move these decks, and how are we going to move some of this bigger stuff with a small little lawn tractor? And I just started looking around, and I found it, and I watched a bunch of videos and read reviews and everything. I didn't tell her about it, and I bought it, and it showed up, and it actually showed up when we were at Carrie's wedding.
Yeah.
And her dad had to get it. It was a big box that was delivered to the house. And she goes, "Did you buy another glider?" And I'm like, "Oh no, that's something else. I'll show you." And you broke it in, riding on it.
Yeah. Well, something had to uncurl it.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good. So far, it's doing pretty good. We needed the ratchet straps, but the bungee, that was the bungee cords, not the glider though.
It did bend the pin for the tractor, but those you can replace quickly.
Yeah, those are cheap, and they set you back a day's worth of work if you don't have them readily. But that glider worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I feel we're always going to have an extra one of those now.
No, we'll bend them.
No, I mean like have one in
have
reserve.
An extra. Yeah, then, I bought two. Two are on their way.
Yeah, and I made you buy 2 of those the other night that didn't end up fitting.
Yeah, but I think they'll work on something else.
Okay.
So yeah, when we go home, we you know, this has been all encompassing for a month. We have to get back to reality at some point, but it's been fun to kind of like, I don't know, step out of reality and just work on a project that we wanted to do for a while, which is what we kind of do. So yeah, don't push each other to the end of it. Just take your time, relax, go home, have fun. Okay, so here's another do for a project like this. The last several videos, you probably saw us wearing the same clothing. Okay, at different days, different videos, same hat, same shoes, same everything. And you're probably going, those are some dirty people. Well, no. These clothes and this hat and our shoes and everything are treated with tick spray. If you notice, Marianne got a couple, I think we mentioned it in the videos, didn't we?
Mentioned it, the first one.
First one. Marianne got a couple ticks on her. And I said, you know what, we have some tick spray, we should use that. So we treated these clothes. That's how it works, is you treat the clothing with that spray, and they're good for up to 6 washes. It keeps it on there. So when we go home every night, Marianne actually washes these clothes every night.
Yeah, I wash
not my hat, but
wash and dry every night.
Yeah, but the clothes are washed every night, so we do have clean clothes on every day.
Yeah, we just don't have to put that spray on all of our clothes.
Right. We don't have to put it on every time. So we're on like number 4, I think, right now, 3 or 4. So we'll have to treat it again here in a little bit. But it has helped. I haven't seen any more ticks on you.
No, but it's weird because my family bought this property back in 1994, and those were the first 2 ticks I ever saw on this property.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And they were both on me.
So the do is watch out for the ticks. I want to say I'll put a link in the description of the stuff that we use. I might put that link down in the description of this video because it seems to work pretty good. We bought it a while ago, and I kept it in a car, because sometimes with our hunted travels we'll end up in a wood somewhere. which happens.
It's happened.
Especially we've gone to forts in Gettysburg, out in Reynolds Woods, and down in Columbiana, down in that wooded area, and don't want a tick bite. That's not good to deal with that. So do take care of yourself. Treat your clothing and stuff with tick repellent. Definitely. Well, I know we were kind of all over the place with this video, but hopefully you pick up a little nugget. I do professional development, and I say we're going to go on a fishing expedition. You always keep the big fish and throw the small ones back. So if there's something in this video that's like, whatever, throw the small fish back. Keep the big fish. Yeah. So anything else you want to add to this?
Nope.
Nope?
Nope.
All right. If you like this series of what we're doing, husband and wife trying to create a weekend retreat on our property here, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. Leave us a comment. Some tips that you think we didn't cover or might help us out. Should be great. Yeah. Till next time.
Thanks for watching.
And happy hunting.